ended up going to sleep for about, let's see, what have I been about? Well, I'm actually from 8 p.m. A little more light. From 8 p.m. till 3 a.m. Yeah, that's correct. So alright, so anyway, you got this. It's working at the moment, so hold on a second. I'm just mucking around with this client's computer at the moment. At this point, I've got some of his files and stuff on there and things like that. So I just have to do, I'm doing some of the updates at the moment, which is installing those. Just make sure this power requirements are set correctly. A second. It's a bit dark in here, can barely see. Oops, there we go. Alright. So, this is client's computer that I'm working on at the moment. It's in the process. I actually had a couple of stuff ups because I ended up going to sleep for a while because I was tired. And once I finished that, I left this to do its thing, but I had to reinstall it anyway. But it's not an issue. But no, it's running pretty well. I've got all the client's files back on here and everything else. Just doing some updates at the moment. Those are just the random files that the client had on the system. All copied and everything else. Anything I might do is delete this old folder here. No point in keeping it because it was just an old installation anyway that he had around there. I made a backup copy of the things to recopy over anyway, but that's no problem. Delete. Get rid of that. That's done, dusted. Don't have to worry about that anymore. As you can see, I'm just doing some Windows updates at the moment. I have to put antivirus on here as well. It's still installing Service Pack 1 for Windows 7 at the moment. It's in the process of doing that. What else have we got? So at this point, I've still got to basically install antivirus and a few other bits and pieces of freeware software on there, pretty much. But the computer itself is working pretty well. Or appears to be working pretty well. Wireless is up and running and everything else, and everything's nice. So that's all good. I might try and maybe organise a random desktop folder. I might even actually create it now. Random desktop. So what because I tend to like to organise the client's files, well, especially if they're on the desktop, because it can add to or take away from the performance of the computer at times. Desktop. Son of a bitch. Out of my way. Desktop files. Random desktop files is what I should type. Random desktop. Fuck. Motherfucker. Desktop files. There we go. Right. Fucking hell. I already know. I was deleting. That's the freaking one I'm deleting. What the hell? Okay. So, random desktop files, as you can see. So, what I'll do is I'll place all these other files that he's got randomly strewed on his desktop into here. This way, if he wants to access them, and I'll explain to him when he comes over to pick the computer up, obviously, that all his files are in there. So, any links, any random stuff that he had, it's all going to be in this folder. And I've copied all the files back to their original place, which is the original user folder. This is just to make it a bit more neater, so it's, not as disorganized or anything else. Alright. Place those in there. It's just something I always do anyway. So I basically at this point I have to yes. Delete those, yes. It's fine. It's just random stuff. Now the only thing is that I have to install, which obviously is maybe Office. I'll try and see if I can maybe install Office for him. There is Open Office on there anyway. If he really needs it, I'm going to put a couple of random apps on there anyway. There we go. That's not a problem though. Shouldn't be too much of an issue to fix it up for him anyway. What do we want to do? We want to move that to drivers. There we go. Drivers. Sorry, my dad's phone's going off. Yes.
Hello?
Yes. Alright.
Well, I am, well, I'll be there, I don't know.
Come
I
on.
don't know how long I'm going to go, though, but yeah, no.
Okay, that's weird. What did that
I'd
look
like
like?
to know, all the bloody heat up there back here.
Oh, right, okay, alright,
I'm not
that's
feeling
fine.
100. I'm not feeling 100%.
Alright, so hold on a second, let's see. Copy that.
Only good stuff.
We'll just move and replace. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to say move and replace pretty much all that. Okay. There we go. There we go. That's more like it. Okay. So then what we do is we hit the auto arrange. We hit the auto arrange button right here. Just like I normally go by file type or name like that, and then it just basically organises everything. Sorry, my dad's trying to call at the moment. But yeah, no. Random desktop files, drivers. So yeah. So that's probably going to go in here as well. That's a random desktop file. So basically what I've done is at this point I'm doing the update. So that's the main part of it. That's the main thing that I sort of want to do anyway. Is just get those files up there. So at this point, I'm still waiting on. There's 1 of 10 updates, as you can see. Then all I've got to do is go. I've downloaded the antivirus, and I've downloaded the 9i installer or 9i installer, and I'm just basically going to install a few things with 9i installer, which it shouldn't be too much of an issue to do anyway. I don't see it as being much of an issue. So, application shortcuts, drivers, random desktop files, installing updates there, as you can see, which has got 1 of 10 updates. Which I'm still in the process of working on all of this anyway. So, but then the hard drive's working and everything else. As you can see, I can't delete that, unfortunately. Don't think it's going to give me the option. Otherwise I'll probably have to do it another way anyway. There we go. That's probably what's going to happen there. Yeah, okay, so pretty much at this point, I'm just deleting random files and stuff that aren't needed. All the client's files and everything else, and all the files that he wanted, backup of, family photos or whatever, and all the user folders are all backed up. They're all back on the computer now, so he won't, basically, he's not going to have any issues accessing those. I'll explain that to him anyway. I've left the default username as user. If he wants to change it to his name, obviously he can. That's his option, whether he wants to do it or not. I've left it with no password on it, because I don't think, initially when you set these up, there's no point in putting a password. And basically, it just frees it up with a lot of the other stuff anyway. But, yeah, it's pretty much, it's still in the process of being worked on, but I think it should be ready later on today. Say, what time is this? 8:30 a.m. today. Might be ready about 11:30 or something like that. 11:30 today, most likely. Yeah, I don't see it being anywhere. But I mean, I've all I had to do was the install and everything else. So the install, as I said, it's about an hour's worth of work, but I left it going overnight pretty much. When you're doing installing updates and everything else, so yeah, it wasn't that hard. Pretty much that's what I'll do. Sometimes I'll leave a computer running overnight, and I'll basically I'll leave it running overnight. And what I normally do when I leave it running overnight is I'll let it do the installs overnight, pretty much, as a well, it's pretty much a common thing. Like, especially these days, I make a habit. I always make it a habit of say I have several, like 2 or 3, maybe 4, 5, 6 computers or whatever. I'll leave those installs and everything else running overnight typically. I put all the data and everything else. So, I mean, and another thing I do, I make it a habit of backing all the data up. If there's any data on there or anything like that, I always back it up beforehand. That's just a common thing that I do anyway. So we'll see how it goes anyway. As I said, it should be ready today. I'm pretty sure it might be even ready earlier. Might be ready by like 10:30 or something. You never know. So I mean, that's the honest truth. So we'll see how it goes anyway. All right. it's still a work in progress. But yesterday, pretty much, it had a few issues. Put it that way. I couldn't even access Windows, so I had to reinstall Windows pretty much. So, but it's not a problem. I've got it working anyway now, which is the plus side. So the client should be pretty happy. Yeah. All right, catch ya. And yeah, that was just a bit of an update on some of the progress I could do with my repairs and stuff. Anyway, so all good.